Oh, I'm supposed to be at a convention today. I'm pretty bummed out about it. I don't want to wear a mask. I've had 3 jabs. I mean, what are you saying? The vaccine didn't work? And that's as political as we get on this station. Yeah, I'm supposed to be at the PAX East 2003. 2023. Yeah, I wish it was 2003, huh? Aww. And this is how to properly pour a Guinness on a Saturday. How are you? Welcome to the comics coffee table. Now, featuring a bell. Ding. I told. Thank you very much. I want to thank the live chat in the comments for the suggestion. Here we go. Ding. But seriously, we have important matters to discuss today on the show. Welcome back. It's time for the Comics Coffee Table, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. Tune in, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. If I'm able to catch the live chat premiere, then we have a great group of people that just love talking about comic books every day, and we're living proof, and it's good to see you all. It's good to see the new faces, and all are welcome. Join in and leave comments in the comment section. Continue this comic book shop style conversation. This year I am reboarding, rebagging, and reboxing my entire collection. Along the way, I'm getting a ballpark estimate of what they're worth. And I've been surprised, pleasantly surprised to find issues here and there that have, great worth for a floppy, a funny book, a periodical, a little, illustrated superhero magazine. And so I'm using these 2 books this year. You can find links in the description to the Amazon pages where you can get your own copies and play along at home. I'm so blessed to have the Overstreet comic book price guide in my life. I got my first one last year, and because it was invaluable in my last year's conversations, the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where we tried to make evergreen content about this 365 days book. You open up the book to today's date, you look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age, you read the blurb, and then you talk about comic books. And we talked about comic books every day last year, just like we're doing this year as well. So what is the Golden Age? The Golden Age runs from 1938 to 1955, the Silver Age from 1956 to 1970, the Bronze Age from 1970 to 1984, and the Copper Age from 1984 until 1993. We've been in this nebulous catch-all modern age of comics since 1993, according to the glossary of this industry standard. I don't agree with some of those later the later definitions, such as the end of the Copper Age. I feel could end at 2000, and then we could go into a Millennium Age for another 15 years. And that's my 2 cents. But I will agree to respect these standards and to use them. And this is the vocabulary we have. I'm here for conversations about the ages and how I can contribute to getting, something. Hey, we need like a millennium age, and we're in some kind of like postmodern age now. Some people call it the Iron Age. Maybe we need to start the Iron Age, and maybe hopefully it's the end of the postmodern age. If ages go about 15 years or so, then if we start a millennium age at 2000 to 2015, to where like there was the big narrative flip in media and in culture, something happened. And we don't talk about stuff like that on our station. Pika doesn't let me. Pika wants, he says keep it clean, keep it evergreen, and People keep showing up. And we keep talking about comic books. We have Comicbook Shop-Style Conversations. And this is like one of them. Yeah, the ages of comic books. There's this huge narrative shift all over publications. And that is how you pour a nitro can of Guinness into a pint glass. I will let this settle down just a little bit more. Why not? Good things come to those who wait. Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a pint of Guinness. And so, Sláinte, cheers. Thank you very much to whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today. Skål. Prost. Genki. The coffee table was where I would always congregate with my friends. There would be an overflowing ashtray. Well, we all stopped smoking years and years ago, but still. There would be a stack of movies, a stack of music, a stack of books, and also a stack of comic books. We would always be trying to get each other to read, and it was just a good time. And we recreate that coffee table here right now with each other. And let's see, wiki. Yeah, thank you for the wikis. I don't know if we'll be using the wiki today. Will we? Nah. We're talking about Final Crisis today. I'm looking forward to that. A nice decompressed conversation about one of my all-time favorite DC comic book runs by one of my all-time favorite DC comic book writers who has an intensive, exhaustive warehouse of ad that restores all this minutia of the DC story, of the golden and silver and bronze and copper ages, and just makes beautiful music. Let's get to that in a minute. But yeah, so I'm reboxing, reboarding, and rebagging my entire collection. The mission of this show is to get you back to your local comic book shop, your LCS. It's the crucible of our culture. It's where the comic book shop style conversation is born and happens. I encourage you to go and not just get your new releases, but get your supplies there. So I'm not using my online supply chain. The free shipping and the built-in movie network. I could be getting a price break. I could be getting the My Lights I'm looking for. I could be getting free delivery to my door. But no, how is that helping keeping my LCS open? The lights on, the rent paid, the employees' wages, that kind of stuff. This is the redistribution of wealth. This is what I can afford and how and where I decide to put those funds. Quite literally, right? So I'm getting short boxes. The older I get, the heavier these long boxes get. And so I'm breaking these problems down into little acorns. I also got bags. These are the polypropylene bags. Polypropylene bags. See that 3 times fast. I bet you could. Shut up. All you say is pika. We all know what you said. And acid-free boards. I think I should have been using boards. I think I should have been using boards the entire time. Yeah, my bad. Hence, all the dangs that we have in my comic book collection. Let's get to it. Let's look at some comic books. Oof. It's a heavy-ass box of Funnybooks. We'll find out tomorrow on New Release Sunday. What did Sully bring home from the LCS? And we'll ask questions such as, am I a whale? I don't know. I spent like $76 at my LCS, mostly on 9 beautiful back issues from the buy 2 premium issues, get 1 free. I fell for it. I just wanted. They look great. They're so nostalgic. I can't wait to show them to you tomorrow. Meanwhile, back in Gotham. So yeah, we started talking about Final Crisis yesterday. I started getting into how the thematic use of anti-life being transmitted via social media and all the little screens that dominate our Western and our lives. all, it was like, see that's, he's about to press the button and unleash the anti-life equation onto the unsuspecting Earth through all of these. So if you weren't listening, you're free. See? Oh, I love this. I love that. We'll get into the end of it too. But I forgot to mention one of my favorite moments. A couple of my favorite Batman and Flash moments. And it's Batman saying to Wally West Flash about the dead new god Orion, and calls it a time bullet. So he's like, yeah, someone shot this magic this magic fourth world new goddish bullet back through time. It starts with Dan Turpin, who gets Dan Turpin's one of Jack Kirby's creations, and he was one of the Boy Commandos. He was that was one of the first retcons too. I think that's Lieutenant Dan Turpin of Metropolis Special Powers Crimes, and he finds the dead body of or he's got just a little life in him. That's where he gets infected, and he will ultimately become Darkseid by the end of this book. We got red skies, which always signify a crisis. I love that. We had this ambiguous scene right from the top. Were actual Teen Titans killed by Dr. Light and Mirror Master, two notoriously murderous individuals? I think that was retconned immediately. We go into some deep end of this is our local multiverse of 52 Earths. Each one has a monitor. Pika, we should have done some more research beforehand. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope that you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Heaven has cracked. This is what I was talking about. Hopefully, J.G. Jones making Jay Garrick look like Robert Mitchum. I love that sense of photorealism and reference right there. That's beautiful. What? Sometimes it's hard to make this show. I get sucked into a rabbit hole of just reading. I open it up and I just start showing you pages, and I stop because I'm like, oh my goodness. I need to start I get sucked into it. Yeah, I got sucked into a rabbit hole totally. I'm just looking at funny books. I loved this. The art started switching between some Carlos Pacheco art. So it started J.G. Jones couldn't keep up with the publication schedule, so Carlos Pacheco helped out a bit. And then by the last issue, it's Doug Mankey. Yes, anti-life. This is what, and once the anti-life spread, you were a minion of Darkseid, and that was that. Well, only for that day, apparently. Should I spoil it? The last page. Batman ends up in the past, and that's the whole Return of Bruce Wayne thing. But, yeah. Crisis. Great stuff. Just, Batman using a, here's that money page. That's Doug Mackey's art. He left behind a perfect clone. Darkseid left behind a perfect clone of Batman. See, Batman was taken off the board earlier, and they cloned an army of Batmen, which Batman actually got out of his binding, of course, because he's Batman. He had the bullet that was used to kill Orion in his utility belt, and he used it to take out Darkseid. But Darkseid shot him with this Omega Sanction, which is the life that is death, little man. Can you outrace the Omega Sanction? You know? This is really good art. Over the top. Look at this splash page. That's the death of Batman. Batman is just taken out of... He's unstuck in time. Like Billy Pilgrim in Slaughterhouse 5. And we already covered that. That's where that all happens. That all, the Batman R.I.P. all leads into this, and leads into Dick being Batman for a spell, and then the return of Batman, and all one big Grant Morrison mega story. But then we have the tie-in stories too. Like I didn't get them all. You know, they all share. They had variant covers. Let's see, we have the Legion of Three Worlds, which is like pretty much the best one of the bunch. Great George Perez art in here. But one of the good ones was, I think it was Rogue's Revenge, because it's Jeff Johns and Scott Collins. They were the team on Flash up to about issue 200 or so. Love their Flash stories. Love Scott Collins' art. He started changing his art style, and I like his older style. Now this is Grant himself with Doug Mankey, and this is the prize of this all. If you can get your hands on these two stories, what's better than Final Crisis are these two stories. It's Legion of Three Worlds, and Superman Beyond 3D. This sets up the end. They all do. They have, these all come before issue 7. So when you see there's a vampire Overman of Earth 3, this is where it comes from, which I always thought that was fascinating. What's the reverse of a Superman would be a vampire, you know what I mean? In a way, too, that works. But there are actual 3D pages in here. And I busted out the glasses out of it, too. Let's look for this. See, those aren't dings. That is... See, the final... This is the logo. And over time, you can see them here better, that the logo is starting to disintegrate more and more. See, it's starting to become faded. Like, it's dissolving. That was done on purpose for effect. I did not bust out the 3D glasses. They are still intact. But we have 3D glasses and 3D pages. They're really good. I had some 3D glasses from something else, and it was so awesome. I read it on a sunny day on my back porch. I had smoked a spleef. Gave me some really good zone in attention, and this was fun. It's over the top, and Superman wrote his gravestone. What did it say? To be continued. I just love that. Love that. And everything else, or the tie-ins, were a miss. See, this is where, like, okay, you earn some wisdom as a comic book fan. Do you have to get every single tie-in to every major event? No, you don't. Unless you want to. Unless you're going to get some joy out of that story. Let's see all the other parts of this story here. There was Peter Tomasi with Doug Mankey called Requiem. This is a book about Martian Manhunter, you know, and the joke Superman saying like we pray for a, you know, we pray for a quick resurrection, knowing that superhero death is this, you know, isn't final, and it wasn't, and so this is, I guess, the Super Friends Revenge Squad going in to crack some skulls with the Legion of Doom that murdered their friend. We have Submit. This is Grant Morrison, Matthew Clark with inks by Norm Rapmund. Yeah, it's just using a bunch of it's Black Lightning, street level, surviving after the release of Anti-Life, and so everyone, if you haven't been converted yet, you're an enemy. Hence, seriously, this is where I'm saying thematically, just Final Crisis was years ahead of itself, a decade ahead of culture. Seriously. And you could actually break someone of their programming too. If they've you get one of those helmets put on your head, all you hear and see is Anti-Life, and it programs you. These little screens and piped in sound of what of a curated nature, showing you Anti-Life equation and making you Darkseid's minion. I mean, gee, isn't that's social media? In an allegory. I don't think it's a metaphor. I think it's an allegory, right? Because a metaphor is a very small phrase within a sentence. It's very quick. But an allegory is something you have to, it could be like a paragraph or two. A long thought. Secret Files. Let's look at this one. This is Len Wein, Grant Morrison, or is it Len Wein? I think it's Len Wein. But Len Wein is just this old style DC writer. I mean, geez, he's a legend. He was a legend, sorely missed. But it's the story of Libra. Who is Libra? Who cared in the end? Libra was just the fall guy for Darkseid. He was this agent on Earth, and this old failed Silver Age Justice League enemy. And all of a sudden, Libra's back, and he's a greater threat than ever. And woof, yeah, and this is the Libra issue. It's okay. I mean, sure. If you want to know more about Libra, did you want to know more about Libra? Okay, this one is Resist, when good guys and bad guys start teaming up together. And let's look at the quality. We get some spine roll, of course, because, Boob Boy here didn't shut up, Pika. I should have been using boards the entire time. And I don't mean to be verbally abusive to my Pokemon or my stuffed animals. Pre-recorded live before a studio audience. Ding! So we got dings. We got spine roll. We got ding. We've achieved ding. Hell in a Cell. Yeah, I like the ads too. I mean, look at this slick cover. That's just... Actually, we got Greg Rucka, Eric Troutman, Ryan Suk, and Marco Rudy on this one. It's Greg Rucka. It's going to be a really strong, stunning, brave female lead before that became a derisive kind of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got female leads, kicking ass. We got Ice, we got Fire from the JLA, and this is a resistance movement. And Darkseid's minions are closing in. And it's like the last stand and another last stand. And this one is great. This one is really good. This is Rage of the Red Lanterns. This is more of a Green Lantern story than it is a Final Crisis story. And this wonderful art by Shane Davis. Shane Davis is a magnificent superhero artist. And although Atrocitus premiered in Green Lantern number 25, I might have that. We're going to find that one day. That's on the things to do in the DC box. This is my DC Crisis long box, but yeah, this is some great art. Remember Cowgirl? Cowgirl was a pilot, and she was dating Hal, and so there was a nice love triangle between Hal, Cowgirl, and Carol Ferris. And kind of starts off, and it's setting up for, see, that's the Black Lantern logo, and it's also setting up the War of the Lights and the Blackest Night. See, this Guardian was scarred by Superboy Prime in the fight against the Sinestro Corps League. The Sinestro Corps War. And she ultimately becomes like a heel turn. Yeah. Superboy Prime was so strong, he got to beat a Guardian, made it explode, and that's what charged him up with like so much power. So it's like in Countdown, he looks like an adult, but that wears off. So we got Sinestro captured by the Green Lanterns, serving his time, and then we have all of these awesome Red Lanterns. And there's Dexstar, the cat from Earth, who's filled with rage because of its owner got killed. And that's a really good one too. Yeah, oh boy, look at the time. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. We've just been going through old comic books, giving them some love. We're going to put boards in all these. We're going to give them their own box. We're going to bundle these, and we're going to see how much we can get for them. A nice bundle of Final Crisis. How much would you pay for a bundle of Final Crisis? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 issues. Funnybooks. What's it worth? Well, we'll look it up in the book, won't we? Thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. I would love to earn your subscription. You have a great Saturday. I got to get going. There's a con I got to go to, and wear a mask all con. It's 2020 again. I have no joy. No joy. I'm gonna see some friends, but probably have something good to eat too. Hey, want to go get something good to eat? We're gonna take off these masks. I understand only so much. I'm not an anti-masker or an anti-vaxxer. I've literally had 3 jabs to keep my job, and I complied and made my parents happy, who, are important to me, and and have their concerns. But I mean, yeah, that's a bad, not how I want to leave the show. I want to leave the show with some great vibes and energy. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.